Hey, my name is your parents, and today I think it's the end of the world. Damn it! This thing, if you won't believe, I didn't paint this thing. Well, I did in a few parts, but you don't need to paint this thing. Damn it, it's that good. Now, this is the entry grade 144 scale RX-78-2 GuNdAm. Now, you might be asking, haven't you reviewed this in your channel? Well, yes, I reviewed the same type of GuNdAm, but different grade. So here is the box. So it is the RX-78-2 entry grade, as you can see. Now, for some suspicious reason, I was questioning why they call this entry grade. Because a few years back, or I guess until now, who knows, they made a line of easy to build 3-colored model kits for free, which were sold for free, or not even sold, in conventions. The entry grade, it was also called entry grade, but it was in part separated. Here's a part of the entry grade. As you can see, I hesitantly tried to paint on it, and it doesn't have good part separation. Now this guy is the complete opposite. It's the polar opposite of it. It has good possibility and good plastic separation. In fact, really good part separation. Now, you do have to get your GuNdAm marker to pan line those side vents and the eyes. Now, the eyes itself, they're not painted. They're actually in that separate red and yellow piece. But there's no black piece, so I guess that's a downside to that. But it does not look too bad from a far distance. And of course, the head, the V-fin, also has that one panel line over there. So, yeah. And also, the beam sabers do have panel lines. Now, this guy looks nice. It is a bit cartoon accurate, I guess. And it is very, very small. Well, not very small, but it is small in a sense that it has great detail. Now, you don't even need nippers to assemble this. So, it is that good. Now, so you can see. Now, let's get to his possibility then. So, up, can go up that far thanks to this hinge joint here. Hinge joint. Oh, and another note, this guy does not have PC parts or polycap parts. So, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I'm used to making my model kits with polycap parts. Well, anyway, can go up that far, hinge joint, and a rotation in the arm. Again, no polycap parts, so that's just 2 pieces there. And the head is in a double ball joint, swivel here, up and down. Can look up really nice. And yeah, there's an ab crunch, which is very amazing. If you wanted to do that one pose from GuNdAm where the GuNdAm gets kicked by the Zaku 2, you could do it. Because of that really nice ab crunch. One of the things that's only for this figure, actually. And there are ball joints on the side skirts. Now you cannot split the front skirt, but if you just spread this out, and yeah, it is in a hinge joint there. No ball joint, sadly. It's okay. Leg can move up that far. Double hinge joint on the leg. Can move back that far. Again, no back skirt or anything. It doesn't matter. There's no problem to it. And these are kind of flat, more flat than the high grade from 1999, if I'm not mistaken. Now there is a swivel here. Now if you look closely, this is a ball joint connected to a swivel, so that makes life more easier and less of a choking hazard, in my opinion. And yeah, and then you have a ball joint on the legs. As you can see, it's kind of like slippers there. The ball joint is connected to the front of the leg, not in the leg itself. And now these things, they look like they can go up and down, but they don't. These things are actually on a ball joint, as you can see there in the back. These are not hinge joints like the ones on the original one. Now, a minor nitpick of mine on this figure is this thing here in the back. Whatever this is for. I don't know, the missile, the bazooka, or something. Not sure. And that's pretty much my nitpicks about this figure. But overall, this figure looks nice. And let's get to his accessories. Now we get a beam rifle. It is nicely molded. It's a bit bigger than the one from the RX. I'll just place this in the side. Now it doesn't have a head and an arm to remake that one scene from GuNdAm. I like it. Now as you can see, it is a bit smaller. This one's more smaller than the newer one. Anyway, so yeah, it does not have a hinge joint here on the front grip, but it does have a hinge joint in the scope. Now the scope I did paint. Let's just focus that. Now I did paint the scope, but you don't need to paint it, and it's just a minor detail. Like some parts here you don't need to paint, like these side cams, or I mean Vulcan guns over here. I did paint those, if you can see it in the camera. Now going back to the beam rifle, you don't need extra hands, trigger hands. You just plug it in like so. Damn, that's really nice. Okay. Now apparently you can't double hand it or something, but sure, that works. Looks nice. I mean, I would have preferred if it came with the bazooka, so that backgap doesn't look too bad. Well, that's just a nitpick. But this is an entry grade, and entry grades are cheap. And we get this shield. Shield. The back does not have any things to panel line or something. Don't need to, but yeah. Now this plugs in differently. You plug it in the same way like the high grade. Plug that in. Get this piece and make sure that big piece is inside or plugged into the shield itself, and plug in the smaller part into the arm, and there you go. And of course the shield can always store in the back of the figure. As you can see, he has a hole there for that purpose. And talking about the beam rifle, now for size comparisons, here he is with the high grade RX-78-2. Now there are some minor differences. This guy is a bit more chunky, on my opinion, and that these shoulder pieces are newer. I like the shoulder pieces here better than this one. This is trying to be cartoon accurate, but this one is more not cartoon accurate, but more modern, on my opinion. And of course, it has that ab crunch, which this figure does not have. This figure does not have an ab crunch. Only has a swivel. And there's that interior piece here. Let me just open this up. This piece is very irritating. Once you're trying to rotate it limits the possibility. So if you're rebuilding this, you should avoid it. You should avoid it, even though it's in the instructions or something. And then of course it has a different back. Now versus this, I prefer the back of this over this, because this has removable thrusters here, and yeah, it's a bit thick as well. I prefer this. It's more streamlined, I guess, if that's the term. And yeah, and the back cubes are also smaller here, and that makes it more slim, more sexy, and stuff. And the legs here, as I said earlier, they are on a hinge joint. Now here in the newer one, let's just make sure this doesn't fall. On the newer one, it is on a ball joint in the front of that. It is in a ball joint, really nice. So yeah, that's about it. And one more thing, he has two beam sabers, of course. But apparently he does not come with beam effects. One really missed opportunity there. I mean, this line is good as of now, but no beam saber. So I have a beam saber from the RX. Just plug that in. A bit tight, a bit of a tight fit, but it's okay. It's all good. Now there you go. It doesn't look too bad with the beam saber. Now let's just remove this and place it on the back because I prefer the beam rifle now. Let's just throw that in. Now overall, this figure is an improvement on high grades in general. Now even the rebuild of the RX-78-2 doesn't have the painted V-crotch or the molded V-crotch. What I mean. Now this guy entry grade improves, 100% improves on this guy and the rebuild. Now overall, my opinion on this figure, it's very nice. I recommend it if you're beginning. I recommend it more than this if you're beginning to build GuNdAm model kits. It's cheap. It only costs 499 Philippine peso, which is I believe it's 499 in the Philippines as of where I live. But in places like America, I've heard that it costs about $5, which is still cheap. Now, I really recommend this guy. Has a ton of poses, and he's just great all in all. And of course, one last thing I haven't mentioned, stand. You can always plug into the. Now he finally comes with an ass plug. Now you can just plug that in there, and he can do some aerial poses, I guess. So yeah, that's it for this review. Hopefully Bandai does more of these entry grades more than ever, or like does it because this is more better than the real grade. I could tell you that. I mean, they are different. This high grade, the high grades and the entry grade here are trying to be so accurate, while the entry grade have more mechanical detail for panel lining. So I guess those are two different, but this is my favorite all in all, because that thing, they say it's rubbish, the entry grade, I mean the real grade RX, they say it's rubbish. I'm not sure, I haven't touched one yet, so I can't tell. So yeah, that's it for this review. Please like and share, and once again, subscribe to my channel. Your parents always subscribe to this channel, and yeah, please support me on this story reviewing career of mine. So yeah, that's it for this, and thank you.